Welcome, everybody. I'm here with Andy, and we
Right.
are on the eve of the set four of Star Wars Unlimited Jump to Light Speed set. And we thought we'd kind of chat about it and think about, are you excited for this set, Andy? I kind of skipped set three. So set four, I'm like looking at the cards. I'm looking at the Carbonite booster packs. We're going to talk about all this stuff today. But are you excited about this set? How do you feel? What's the vibe? What's
Y-
your gut saying?
You know, I think I am excited for it. Overall, I think I spent a little bit less. I really didn't spend a ton of time looking at spoilers or kind of following along. The way that I did for the release of Set Three, like last September, October, when they were in spoiler season. Um, I think with set three, I got really involved in like invested in like following the PQ season. One, it was kind of short. It was only like 4 or 5 weeks. Plus, there were no PQs near me. So it was kind of like living vicariously through like, uh, you know, Discord chats on like KTOD and stuff. But for set, but then like set three, like December happened. There were no PQs. It was the holiday season. I kind of was like, all right, let me back burner this. And by the time I got back into thinking about Star Wars Unlimited in like January, because PQs didn't start towards the end of January, and there really wasn't anything near me until the end of February, which I ended up having to skip and cancel my um, place and due to some other stuff that came up. So it was like, and I just really kind of didn't follow what was going on in the PQ because there was just actually so many of them that it was like a little bit overwhelming. And that kind of was like a little bit arresting towards Star Wars Unlimited as a whole. Is like, oh, that's that's way too much information. And then now we got spoilers coming in. It's like I got other stuff going on, and so it was suddenly like, oh, they've already spoiled like I don't know 100 or 120 cards or something. And I like looked at the spoiler and I was like, oh wait, this set comes out in like a week and a half or something.
Uh,
Okay, well I guess we're here for Jump to
yeah.
Lightspeed then.
I'll just say that I'm happy they're not doing four sets a year because I think it would feel
Yeah.
even more crowded. I feel more optimistic about set four than I mean, I was really excited for set two and it was kind of a letdown. And then that led to sort of, frankly, lack of interest in set three after feeling that letdown. But I think with this, they're bringing in some fun stuff. Carbonite packs, which are basically collector boosters. So that like higher tier rarity pack, which I think really grabs people's attention. That I mean, we talk about the sort of the iceberg, right? You have the players, but there's like all these people that just buy things to collect, whether it's Pokemon, Magic, whatever. Collector boosters are always going to be cash cows as soon as you tell someone it's a limited edition one
I,
time.
I ordered two.
I knew you did. And we'll
I'm
get into what's in these a little bit. And in my own personal theory, that I think that well, one, I think it's going to drive down the price of other cards, hyperspace cards. You're just going to have a lot more out there because you're going to have like kind of a fixed pool of them.
even like showcases. I think will probably like it seemed like in the first three sets, showcases were usually like I don't know 175 to 350 or something like that.
Yeah.
With like I feel like there's just gonna be more hits on those. So, I wouldn't be surprised to see like, some terrible leader like Lando or Rose Tico be like $60.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think as well, I was looking through the cards and I don't know I love the piloting mechanic. Like it doesn't get me really excited. It seems like it could get a little clunky or frankly you just have personalities of characters coming out. Like I saw the Vader piloting. I'm like, why would anyone run this over like a normal Vader? That's my like my own personal view on it, but it just kind of feels like the piloting thing could work, could be wonderful, or it could be kind of clunky and that no one really does it. And like,
It feels like a kitchen table mechanic where like the couple pilots that are going to be like really good in competitive play are probably like really good, right? And the majority of the pilots are just not going to cut it because it just sets you up for 2-for-1s like repeatedly, and people are going to bring in upgrade hate. And most of the time, like, some of the leaders, like in the first 3 sets, when you flip your leader, they come in as a unit and then they can just like attack, right? Whereas leaders, like, yeah, you could flip it into a leader, but maybe it's just like a vanilla 5/5 or something, right? And you don't really want that, or it's like a 5/5 and it has like some kind of janky ability. You really want it as a pilot, but then it's relying on you having another unit in play to be able to put it on as a pilot, and then that one might have damage on it. And now it's easier to kill the leader, and it just seems a little bit messy and clunky as far as like leader pilots. Other ones, again, still kind of open you up to some 2-for-1s. I think their piloting mechanic will definitely see you competitive play. Like the Chewbacca pilot's like really good, but Luke is pretty good too. But like a lot of them, I just looked at and I was like, why would I play this? It's just terrible.
Yeah, I agree. Let's kind of get into what's in the Carbonite packs here, because I think this is interesting.
Sure.
It's going to be a 16 card pack. They come in at $25, right? So think of this as 5 times the cost of a normal pack. You get 16 cards in there. I think there's 16, 15 cards maybe in a normal pack. I need to double check that. But so it's going to be, first slot is going to be this sort of hyperspace or showcase leader. It's supposed to be sort of a showcase leader in the 2 to 3 boxes. So it's supposed to also be like more common. I think that this is going to drive down the cost of showcase. It's also, I think, all the showcases are going to be represented. So it's not just going to be like the new ones. I think it's going to be I actually would need to double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's like all the extras they might have floating out.
I think it's probably just this set.
Just this set.
Yeah.
So showcase in the first slot. Then you have 7 foil cards. So be prepared for this to be like bent like a Pringle can, like with 7 foils. And then you're going to have your next slot's going to be your hyperspace. You have 5 hyperspace cards, and then 2 hyperspace foil cards, and then 1 prestige card, which they're doing this treatment for 36 cards. And sort of there's going to be 3 tiers. There's going to be a non-foil prestige version, there's going to be a foil prestige version, and then a serialized prestige version. So in total, you could have 7 variations of the same card, right? If you think of
they just learn props, that's all.
Yeah, and it feels like that could be, it's just a lot, because who wants to collect the foil version or the hyperspace version or the hyperspace foil when there's a prestige version? And like it just creates these like kind of confusing tiers of collecting, where who wants to collect tier 2 of 7, right? Or 3 or 4. And so I think it just kind of becomes a little confusing, and I could see it kind of hitting the hyperspace foils of these 36 cards specifically. Like who wants just the hyperspace foil version? So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. At 5 times the cost, and they're supposed to all kind of be uncommon or better rarity. So you are getting more, not the commons. But I was excited about this product, and now that I spent a little more time on it, I'm just kind of like, yeah, I will see. I'll watch other people open boxes, and I'm not going to open boxes myself.
Yeah, it feels like this is basically 5, 6, maybe 7, like 5 to 6 regular booster packs worth of cards. Like if you, like in sets 1 through 3, if you open up 6 packs and you took out all the like chaff bulk commons and uncommons, and you were left with your hyperspace cards, your foils, your hyperspace foils, etc. This is what I would probably about expect from like 6-ish packs. Obviously, there's 1 foil per pack, so if there's 7 foils, it'd be 7 packs. But so if that's the case, then it's about even in terms of like price point. The benefit to it, I guess, is that showcase leaders, prestige cards, and are probably easier to hit. And then I don't have to deal with like, a few hundred, like open up a booster box and deal with like a few hundred commons and uncommons that I'm not going to do anything with, which is kind of a win in my book. So I like the Carbonite editions, you know,
Yeah.
and I'm into the prestige foils. I only do regular foils. I don't like the hyperspace stuff, which I know I'm like a absolute minority, but I've never really liked full art. Whereas the prestige cards and they kind of remind me of the convention foils that they did, like that Vader and Emperor and Maul and stuff that were all black. That's kind of what the prestige cards look like. And so there's like a little bit more uniformity to how they look rather than it being like some card that's like got a yellow background and then the next card has like a green background and then like you look at your hand and you're like, oh my god, what's going on with my hand here?
This, I think, so we have the hyperspace. Sorry, Carbonite edition. These are all like new words to add to your vocabulary. You kind of like the normal, booster boxes pre-release, but then you also have some starter, not only starter decks, but pre-built decks, which I think these are such a key product for bringing in new
Sure.
people. And these are not going to be meta, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be. You could play at the kitchen table and have a good game, and it's not just meant to be a dueling deck. You could play other people's decks, and I think that this has been the cornerstone of the Magic economy for a long time, and it's in the form of Commander. I actually thought we would see pre-built Twin Suns decks before. I thought that might be the thing that creeps out, but
Yeah, I think they're just trying to probably build out a little bit more of the player base. I wouldn't be surprised if there were some pre-built Twin Suns decks coming in like set maybe even 5 or set 6.
I mean, it's all about, can you get more products out for people to purchase? That's the name of the game. Speaking of products to purchase, this is something Andy alerted me to, but the accessories. This is so freaking cool, man. This is a full-size playmat for Twin Suns. So you have spot for 4 people, and this kind of takes up an entire table here.
Yeah,
So,
it's what, like 4 by 6 feet. So
yeah,
whatever that is in metric for like the one European that watches this.
shout out to the guy in Poland. Yeah, so I mean, this is cool. I think it carries a pretty hefty price tag. It's around, I think, $70, but this is great if you actually are going to be, especially if you have sort of a semi-permanent gaming space in your house, your basement, whatever. This is great just to have up for, Friday night, Twin Suns. I like what they're doing with the game. I like a lot of the style choices. I think, the criticism about the art has been silenced just by how good the game plays. It's still, I think, one of my favorite games to play.
It's a great game.
Andy, if you were over here right now and you had 3, Lorcana, Magic, and Star Wars Unlimited, I'm like, well, let's do Star Wars Unlimited. I'd probably also say I'm the best fighting chance in Star Wars Unlimited. So, I mean, I think the game is going in a good direction. I think for me, it's just release dates in like early spring are always a little odd because people still have a bit of a holiday lull, and the new year always is busy. And so I think it's just like a hard release window, but I will be doing the pre-release at my local store. So I'm kind of excited to dive into the set a bit more and see how it kind of plays. It should be out in about a week. So it's upon us. Andy, any kind of final thoughts here on set 4, Jump to Lightspeed?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I like that it'll eventually have a rotation. I think that's a neat concept. With this set will be, set 1 of whatever they rotate to. So, they're trying to build it so that it can stand on its own, but also play well with the other sets. I kind of like everything about this. I'm excited for the set to come out, and looks good.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to hear folks' thoughts on Star Wars Unlimited, whether they're going to pick this set up, if it's a grab for you or a skip. But thanks for hanging out, everybody. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and we'll catch you later.